Hi, one of the funnest parts of game management and doing deer building is to identify what kind of activity you have in your food plots, what time the activity happens, and what kind of bucks and quality deer you have on your property. Um, the best way to do that is to sit in tree stands with people all over the place, but that's not practical. So what we use is game cameras, which honestly are by far the most effective way to understand what's on your property. So what we're doing is we got a whole big batch of cameras. These particular cameras are the M100s from Moultrie. They're brand new in 2011. I haven't really had them out in the field much, but the preliminary tests around the house, they work fantastic. And they got a lot of really neat features on them. But I'm not going to talk about the Moultrie camera. I'm going to talk about how we actually go about setting up a whole bunch of cameras so we can do a wide range of scouting amongst the property. Given some of the new technologies around time-lapse game cameras, as well as just doing the more traditional snapshots and videos. We've designated 4 of these Moultrie cameras to do time-lapse. These cameras do have a time-lapse mode in them. So we've designated 4 of them for 4 out of our 6 food plots. 2 of our food plots we're not necessarily concerned with. But there are 4 that we really would like to see. We've got a really nice big long view of it. We're going to put these things up high, and then we're going to look at the time lapse to see where the deer are coming out of. The other cameras, all the rest of the cameras that we have, are going to do the traditional, trail crossings and stuff like that. So the first thing that I do when I have a big batch of cameras is I sit down with my son and we open up all of these cameras and we have like a little process. It's almost like an assembly line. We have fun with it. A lot of these cameras, you have to upgrade the firmware on it. I know the Moultrie cameras have an upgrade to their firmware. So what we did is we loaded the firmware into one chip. It's very simple. You follow the instructions on their website. Download the firmware to this one chip. You stick the batteries in the camera. You stick this chip in there. Follow the instructions and you can upgrade the firmware. Sometimes when they ship these cameras, the firmware gets upgraded along the way. It gets enhanced. So you really want to follow those instructions. It will help you down the line. So once we have that installed, then obviously the batteries come first, but the next thing I do is I take a Sharpie, and every single one of these cameras is labeled. So you can see here, this one's camera 8. So I put one on the inside, one on the outside. I also put one down here on the bottom like that. So that allows me to walk up to the tree and know exactly what camera I have. So when I do this, you only do this really once too. When I do this process, when I'm putting a whole bunch of cameras out, I will know every single one of my cameras and I'll have every single one of the camera locations marked. The way I do that, and I'm going to show you in the field, but I'll just tell you about it right now, is this Garmin GPS is a picture camera as well. And the photo has geolocation tagging, so when we put the camera up on the tree, I actually take a picture of the camera, and then I have a map. When I load this back into the computer, I can see where every single one of my cameras is. So if you're putting out this many cameras, like I think we're going to be putting out 12 cameras today, you may forget one. So you'll never forget it if you have a geo-tagged photo and a map of them on your computer, and that's how we do it. It's really simple. You don't have to keep track of anything, write anything down, you just have them all right there. Okay, so what we've done is we've gone through every single one of these cameras, we've upgraded the firmware, we put the batteries in, we have a series of chips in each one of these cameras. We're going to label the chips. We haven't done that yet. We're going to label the chips. So this camera 8 will have a number 8 chip in it. We'll just label it number 8. And then we'll be ready to go. So now that we have our camera prepped and ready to go, and just to review, we numbered the camera. We actually put a number on top of the camera. We put a number on the bottom here. We have the same number on the chip. And these M100s by Moultrie, they also have a camera name. So we put that camera name as, this particular one is number 10. So we got a 10 chip, a 10 camera, and the camera name inside the camera is number 10. The other thing we did is these cameras have a security code. So we put those in there just for the heck of it. This particular camera we have set up as a time-lapse, a plot camera function. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch this particular brassica plot right here behind me. using the plot mode. So turned the camera on, and the first thing it asked me is put my security code in, so I'm doing that, and I'm not going to tell you what that is in case you find my land and you want to come take this camera. Just kidding. Alright, so I've got my security code almost in there. Enter. Okay, now this camera has a live view screen on it, which is fantastic. I don't know why none of them did this before, but this is extremely helpful. So now what I can do is I can position this camera and get this thing just right, which is right about there. It's going to be right about there to position this camera to be able to look out over this plot with the time-lapse plot feature. So I'm just going to close it up, and I'm just going to adjust the strap a little bit and then hang this on the tree. Okay, first thing we do is we put in our security code. I'll block this so you guys can't see it. How's that? Okay, and then we can see the trail camera. Of course, you can see the video camera in the viewer, but this is great because it allows us to really fine-tune and position the camera, and right there it's just perfect. So we've got it on trail cam mode right now, but we want to put it on plot mode. So we're going to go to capture mode and turn it on plot cam, and then we're just going to set the plot. Also, you see the camera name is set, number 10. We do this all the time. And plot frequency, I'm going to say 15 seconds on this plot. So we'll take the default. And then plot duration. On this one, I'm going to do, let's do 3 hours. And then back. The other thing I'm thinking about doing is under capture mode, let me do hybrid cam on this one. So what this is going to do is it's going to do a combination of the plot mode and also taking a photo at the same time. So we're going to change it to that. Photo quality will be high. Photo delay, I like mine low at 15 seconds, and I also do like a multi-shot in case there's two deer coming at the same time. We don't have to zoom, resolution, any of that stuff, resolution, strip, all the rest of this is okay. And then that's it. Go back to the main screen. And that's it. We're in hybrid cam mode. And we're just going to leave it like that. All done.